Why would full-on business, somebody who's been in operation for years, hand over thousands of dollars to a kid with no credibility or experience, promising the world? I announced to the world, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Even if it seems stupid and unrealistic to some people, even if you sound silly when you talk about it, even if it feels a little embarrassing talking about it, if you feel that it's right and you know that it can work, then fuck everybody else. Humans always want more. Achieve something and we immediately crave the next best thing. This endless loop of greed and consumerism blinds us, whispering as it drags us by the hand. You need to be successful, happy, wanted, respected. Sadly, it drives too many of us today. Why? Look at today's social media and the financial gurus flaunting their luxury lifestyles, saying you can be next in line, just like me. Sure, it pushes people to change, and I think that's beautiful. But it also limits them. It puts them in a box with 2 holes, 2 exits. And one says, sale for $3,999 right now for your new life. And if you don't do this, you're going to end up at the other hole. Working a 9 to 5 for 40 years and hating your life. And when you're at rock bottom, that says 0 to hero in 30 days seems very, very intriguing. And what they don't tell you is that this elevator breaks down half the time and that the goal is tinfoil. But when you are in that spot, just like I was, you still hop in. Ever since I was a kid, I always dreamt big. Call it overconfident or cocky or arrogant, whatever, but I knew I was destined for more. Yet even now, I can't define success with full conviction. Growing up, I was obsessed with video games, and that showed me that I have a pretty obsessive personality, so whatever I like, I dig my claws into it. Fast forward to my first year of college. I was lost, pursuing a degree that didn't fulfill me, with the thought in my head that if I don't get this paper, my life is going to be over since I'm going to be worthless. And after you hear that for 19 years of your life, you gotta start to believe it. And I don't think college is necessarily bad, but if you're doing something that doesn't fulfill you, it eats you from the inside. So at 18, I tried to start my own SMMA business because I saw all these gurus making so much money. And it just seemed doable since I didn't have money to drop ship, and this would be selling myself, and I love talking, so my ego skyrocketed, as one would expect, and I thought I was ahead of everyone around me. I'm doing something so different and so cool, and all of you guys are dorks. But reality hit really hard. I remember thinking I was about to call some businesses, and they'd hand over the money to a kid with no experience, and then I started questioning, why would full-on business, somebody who's been in operation for years, hand over thousands of dollars to a kid with no credibility or experience, promising the world? Yeah, that doesn't really make much sense, does it? But I brushed off these thoughts and stayed on the Delulu Express that 10K a month is just behind that hill over there. Just gotta get there, and then everything will be great, happy, sunshine, and rainbows. And was I wrong? Almost 2 years into this entrepreneurial journey, I went through dozens of clients, hundreds of calls, and thousands of fuck-ups. I actually learned more about myself than anything related to the business. I got to travel a bit, meet new people, while also trying to pursue a goal, trying to make money, trying to become a man. I got to the point where we made more money in one day than I made at my old job in 1 month. Was I happy? Hell yeah. Did it bring me joy though? No. I remember feeling actually very upset that day because I'm like, wasn't I supposed to feel something more? Wasn't there something more to it? Did I not make enough money? Some might say I'm ungrateful, but I disagree. Despite all the work, all the learning, and all the success, it never brought me the fulfillment that I craved. Because I was chasing a dream that was put upon me by this random person on the internet who has a little bit more money than me. Alright, more than a little bit, but I think I was just lost. And I was chasing it because I didn't know that there was any other way in life. And a good friend of mine once said that if you don't stand on anything, even the smallest gust of wind will blow you away. And that's how I felt. I had a general direction that I wanted to succeed. Then again, what does success mean? I was so lost that I didn't even know what I actually wanted. I didn't have my own dream. And today, I've shifted towards something unknown. And if you're watching this, that means I've taken a step in the direction that feels right. Even if I don't know what exactly is coming next. After a lot of speculation and thinking about what I wanted to do with myself in my life, I still don't have a solid answer. And when my friends bug me with the question, so what do you do? Can you give an elevator pitch? I stutter and I fumble because admitting I don't know is the scariest thing. It feels like everybody's looking at me with disapproval and pity, thinking that I'm just some stupid kid who made some money online and now he thinks that he's the shit, which is the farthest thing from the truth. Half the people don't even know what's going on in my head, and they don't really care enough to ask. But to beat this fear head on, I announced to the world, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Maybe I'll dive into software, run a SaaS company. Maybe I'll become a YouTuber since I'm doing this. Maybe I'll stream. Pretty good at games. But I don't know. All I know is that I'm following my gut. I'm following what feels right. And funny enough, I recorded a video back in October, but I was too embarrassed to upload it. However, things have changed, and here we are now. And even as I wrote this script, I was just thinking about what people are going to think of me and how embarrassed I'm going to feel, but we'll see. So, why does this all matter? We all try things, we all fail, and a lot of us are scared to do it in front of other people. And what I was trying to do was follow a crowd just of different people. That doesn't make me any different than the sheep that go to a corporate job. I was following other people just in a different line. And I was always too scared to admit it. And honestly, over the past 2 years, my most proud achievement would probably be my mental growth and my perspective shift. Because I went from this arrogant kid who thought he was the shit to something completely different. And honestly, I think I've humbled down a lot. And admitting that I was wrong was never really hard for me, but I just gaslit myself into thinking that everything was fine. And for the longest time, I was following this Delulu train, as I said, but I realized it's time to get off and actually move forward. And when we're scared to do something that feels right, we often have this fear because we don't want to stand out, we don't want to be made fun of. But I want to encourage everybody who's watching this to do the opposite. As cliche as it sounds, you need to do your own thing, even if it means starting over again. After 2 years of doing all this business stuff, I'm starting over again. I'm back at zero. I have nothing. And that, I believe, is the secret that a lot of people look for in inspirational content. Maybe you can count this as inspirational content. Here you go. This is the secret that everybody is hiding from you. It just comes to starting again at level 1 with all the experience that you've gained and trying something again. Even if it seems stupid and unrealistic to some people, even if you sound silly when you talk about it, even if it feels a little embarrassing talking about it, if you feel that it's right and you know that it can work, then fuck everybody else. It took me a while to realize, but there's nothing wrong with admitting failure on such a scale that everything that I was doing might have not led to great success, but it got me to where I am now. That does not mean that any of the work that I did was worthless. It's just I added more feathers into my hat. And everything you learn along the way will shape how the rest of your life will go. So after collecting all the scars, the knowledge, the wins, the losses, blood, sweat, tears, here I am, pivoting and shifting into something different. Something that feels right. And I think it's beautiful. So here I am at step 1 again.